And your point, just so everybody knows, because we've been talking about on whether this was an accidental fall with Max or not, to remind everybody, what you just described, you do not believe that your sister committed suicide.
No.
You believe that someone killed her.
Yes.
She was found hanging from a balcony with her hands tied behind her back, her feet tied, a T-shirt around her neck and in her mouth, and hung and with very elaborate knots
Yes.
tied around. And you're saying that that's not suicide, that didn't happen.
No.
So what did happen?
I think someone or several people held my sister responsible for what happened to Max. When Max got injured, there are hospital records that said that Max might have been suffocated. As a mother or somebody related to Max, you can assume, okay, Rebecca was the caregiver. But the sad part is nobody really investigated what really happened. I mean, nobody knows who was in that house.
And y'all have petitioned to have this case reopened, correct?
We have, and we've been working on this, Dr. Phil, as you know, from before the time that the police concluded it was a suicide with Rebecca and closed the case. Of course, it's not a suicide. It's clearly a homicide with Rebecca Zahau, but you know, we want that reopened. We want both cases reopened. We always said, because you've got to know what happened to Max to know what happened to Becky.
And you have some pictures that you want to show us, correct?
I do.
All right, take us through those.
This is the banister, and you see we kept hearing about center of gravity, and we actually went down that lower part as it's going down the stairs. And this, according to Doug and Mary and others that have been in the mansion many times, it was only 26 inches high, the railing, so a lot lower than we're hearing when we talk about the center of gravity. The next one here, this is after the fact. This has gouges in the banister. This is important because we're going to see that some of those gouges show on a razor scooter, his razor scooter. So it's the circumstantial evidence that he went over with a scooter in some fashion. Here's below where Max fell. See the razor scooter right there? So he was down below, and of course the dog was down below at the end of the day, Ocean. And he purportedly said Ocean's name. You can see some of what the Coronado police did, and that is you see some transfers in those two places of the paint from the banister. And there were no chips on the banister before, and of course there were chips afterwards, and then we see them on the razor scooter.
And Dr. Melanick, you're still with us. As you look at these, is there anything in these pictures that is new to you that you didn't know from before?
No, I've seen all those pictures before. I think what's interesting is that the paint transfer on the razor scooter is occurring by the wheel, which is the bottom part of the scooter. So the scenario that was initially told to Mrs. Shacknight, Adina, was that Max was riding his scooter on the second story. And if that's the case, the wheel shouldn't be anywhere near the top of the banister. It should be on the bottom, next to the carpeted floor. Even if he's on the scooter, he's still too low for his center of gravity to go over that banister. And even if he, let's say theoretically, accidentally went over the low portion of the banister as it's descending, then how does he get the injury on his back that matches up with the banister?